All right, so your mental health must be a priority. Your mental health is something that you have to live by every day, and many people are affected by it, young teenagers, young adults, seniors, and I do think it's not really talked about in society. Many people just ignore it, such as workplaces, schools. They don't really have in consideration how some of their workers or students may be going through something in their stage of life, and they just have to put up with it. And it does come, there comes a time in your life where all of that emotion and all of that stress may build up and it may affect you later in life. Once you get older, you start developing like disorders or just mental illnesses that is not good for your mental health. So what is mental health? It is your emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. The types of mental illnesses can be anxiety disorders, OCD, panic disorders, depression, bipolar disorders, personality disorders, phobias, post-traumatic stress disorders. Many of these disorders people may have it or experience it on a daily basis based on their personal experiences or just things that may have affected them from childhood to adulthood. So it is very important, your mental health at every stage of your life, as I mentioned before, from your childhood to your adulthood, because as you get older and you tend to ignore it, it can be worse for your health. So the signs of mental illness is your long-lasting sadness or just being irritated with any little thing could also be a sign. Extremely high and low moods, excessive fear, worry, or anxiety, social withdrawal, dramatic changes in eating or sleeping habits. People do tend to become like very distant and antisocial when they are going through a phase in their life or this stage where you're just not okay, you've been feeling depressed, very down. So I would encourage people that are going through a mental illness or just going through a rough time with their mental health to make that a priority and focus on yourself, set your phone aside, exercise mainly for your mental health rather than your physical appearance, and speak about it to someone, to your counselor, to a therapist, or just to a friend, or you can just write in a journal and express your feelings, and that would really help anyone, honestly. So here are some suicide rates that I have gathered. So in a recent study, it was back in 2018, so 2 years ago, the suicide rate went up. There was 48,344 suicides in the U.S., only in the United States. So you guys can imagine how bad it could be like around the world. Especially like there's this forest in Japan, I believe is known as like the suicide forest, where people go there to just specifically suicide. And it's really sad how your mental health could actually lead you to taking your own life away. So the rate has gone up 24% since 2014. 42,773 people have committed suicide since 2014. More of those people. So it has increased from 1999 to 2014. Now that we're in 2020, I can imagine how bad it could be now, after 6 years of people not looking up statistics about it or just having it basically ignored, especially with COVID. Many people have been in quarantine and others didn't take it as well as others did. Like rich people probably could have enjoyed their free time, but other people lost their jobs and lost family members because of COVID. So COVID did impact many people around the world, and it did have an effect on people's mental health as well. And your ways to fight mental health, I do encourage everybody to meditate, seek therapy. As I mentioned before, set your phone aside, practice mind-focused thoughts rather than just overthinking irrational thoughts. exercise mainly for your mental health, and spend more time on hobbies that you may be passionate about, such as sports or art or just any little thing that can really help you. And just spend an hour of your day to yourself. It can be anything, exercising, writing, or anything. And you guys will see improvement in your everyday life and within yourself. Thank you. Woo! Thank you.
Awesome. So now you have your recording, and then you can edit it wherever you like